Hello, everyone. Welcome back to False Nine Podcast. I've got Luke, Charlie, and Connor here as usual, and we're going to do something different today. We're going to do din 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 din. Wait, fuck. The England team that's going to go to the Euros, right? So what we're going to do is I've kind of made a team that I think is going to go, and we're going to go through goalkeepers first, see who we'd add instead, and then so on, and then we'll have our final team at the end. The lads are going to suggest who they put in. So I've outsiders here as well that could go. But anyway, so we'll start with goalkeepers, get straight into it. Right. Dean Henderson, Nick Pope, Jordan Pickford. We're not going to talk about who's number one or anything or who's going to start. We might do that at the end. But does anyone have anything they want to change from goalkeepers?
No, I think those three picked themselves really because of the lack of options.
Yeah.
So I think.
Okay, so I think that's fair. Now this where it gets interesting. So what we'll do is right. How have I done this? I've gone right backs. Actually, you know what I'll do? No, I'll move Connor Cody here, and then I fucked that, but it's fine. So I've got right back, centre backs, and left backs. So we'll start with the right backs. Yeah. Now we have Kieran Trippier, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. They're outsiders. Yeah, but I've picked two because I picked 7 defenders. I picked 2 right backs, 2 left backs, and 3 centre backs. I've gone with Trent and Kyle Walker. Now, this is a very oh my God. I forgot about this guy. Sorry. Apologies. I forgot about Reece James. Right, so for defenders, yeah, for right backs, are we going with Trent and Kyle Walker? Charlie, I'll go to you. Are we going with Trent and Kyle Walker?
I'm not sure how this is even a debate. I mean, Trent has to be in the squad, in my opinion. He's a Premier League winning right back. He's a Champions League winning right back. You can't say he can't mark the big players when he's played in Champions League finals. He's played in nearly every big game Liverpool have been involved in. And he hasn't got messed around with too much. I mean, there's a few clips of him getting done, but it's not to say he was getting destroyed the entire game. I can only think Sané once gave him the run around at the Etihad. That's about it. His defending, while it's not great, I don't think it would cost you games to an extent. It's still decent enough. It's just not of the level of someone like Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah. So just on Wan-Bissaka, we just get rid of him, or Connor, we just get rid of Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, maybe just leave him in for now. We can take him away at the end. But I just think that because Kyle Walker, I think he's a better right back anyway. But also the fact that if they're playing back three, he can cover centre back as well.
Yeah.
And I don't think Wan-Bissaka is really suited to a wing back role, and he's certainly not. He wouldn't be ahead of Kyle Walker and Trent anyway.
Well, that's the thing. What formation they're going to go with? That's I think. The thing with Southgate is he's not a serious manager, so he can literally go with anything. He's been messing around a good bit, but let's say, it's so hard. What would he think? I think for me they should go 3 at the back, in my opinion. But we don't really have time to be going through our formation. But yeah, so the possibilities, Luke, would you put Trippier, Wan-Bissaka, or Reece James in for any of those 2?
Probably not. I think Walker is a pretty well-rounded fullback, good attacking, decent defending, and then Trent gives you a lot in attack. And he's all right in defence. He's not a liability like people are making it out to be. But he's not as strong as some of the other right backs. But he's not a liability. If Liverpool are able to win the league and the Champions League with him at right back, then I think he must be doing something right. So I think he should be the starting right back, to be honest, just because he gives you so much going forward. Maybe against the bigger teams you could bring in Walker just because he has the pace to cover against teams that like to counter attack quickly. So I think Trent and Walker should be the right back.
Yeah, also if they get say for example they play 4-2-3-1 and they have Henderson and Rice DM, that's perfect balance if Trent's gonna bomb off forward and stuff like that. Now here's the centre backs. I'm kind of thinking I should have picked 4 centre backs, Connor. But obviously Maguire and Stones, I'm guessing everyone agrees that they are probably the 2 starting centre backs. Or they will they'll start.
I mean, I think Cody is Cody's only going to start if it's going to be a back. Like there's
Yeah.
going to be 3 centre backs on the pitch. Maguire, obviously, I don't think he's great, but he's proven for England that like he is probably one of the best options they have.
Yeah.
He goes Stones. I think he's been really good this season. With Diaz at centre back. And I just think I know there's only 3 centre backs in there, but I think Kyle Walker can cover centre back if needed, and if they're really desperate. Like we have seen Henderson play centre back before, and Declan Rice. But I feel like you can't be, because England are so good in attack and in midfield for the creativity. Like you can't sort of sacrifice players there to have backup at centre back in case you need it. Like
Also, obviously Eric Dyer can come. So just for like for the purpose of the debate, the options would be Eric Dyer or Tyrone Mings. Now I would have put Gomez in there, and I think Gomez would have went, but he's obviously going to be injured, or he's not going to make it by the looks of it. So Charlie, Mings, Dyer. To bring any of them instead of Cody, maybe, because I think we can't really debate Maguire and Stones. Like, yeah, might have your opinions on Maguire, but he's going to go. So for Cody, would you bring Mings or Dyer?
I don't think Cody's going to go at all. I think Cody would be a really, really dodgy pick. I mean, we saw him playing a back 4 yesterday. He got destroyed by Lingard. Or was he even playing? I think he was playing anyway.
Yeah.
He
can't play back 4 anyway.
I don't think he's good enough to play in a back 4. I think you definitely have Mings over him. And somehow, I'm not sure how this lad hasn't gotten the squad yet. I would have Konsa over Mings as well. I think Konsa, he plays beside Mings gets all the credit, but Konsa's a better player than him, in my opinion. He's better on the ball. He's a better defender. He's less rash, and you don't see him making as many mistakes. It just seems Mings seems to be the sort of leader there who communicates more. So I think Mings gets more of the credit for that. But I think Konsa, I would definitely say Konsa is England's 3rd best centre back behind Maguire and Stones. Maybe even with Stones. I think Konsa is severely underrated. And I think he should be easily in the squad over the likes of Cody and Mings. But if we're being realistic here, we can't put him in. But I don't think Cody should be there. I would definitely have Mings in.
Okay, so that's obviously the first one that's up for the thing. I just would put Cody in because I actually think Mings is shit, to be honest with you. That's just being, he is shit. I've never seen a centre back make as many mistakes as him. Like, seriously, I feel like every game, I remember he tweeted out, "Oh, it was a poor mistake. We got the 3 points at the end." I feel like he's tweeted that out like 15 times. Like, I don't mind. So you're going with, so out of Mings and Cody, I'm going Cody. Charlie's going Mings. Connor, who are you going with?
I would probably go with Cody as well. But as I said, I only think, like, if he's going to be playing a back 4, then I don't think he should be bringing Cody. But if it's a back 3, then it's a different story. But I do agree with Charlie. Like, Konsa is a lot better than Tyrone Mings. But I mean, I have watched a good few Villa games this season, and like Tyrone Mings, like, I don't think he's international class at all.
Luke, who are you going with? Luke, who are you going with, Cody or Mings?
I think you have to look at going with both. I know both of them aren't great, but if you just look there, Maguire, Stones, Cody, it's 3 centre backs enough. Like,
but I think it's more because Walker can play there as well. That's why.
Yeah, Declan Rice can play there, Luke Shaw can play there, maybe Henderson could slot in there. But is Southgate willing to take a risk like that? Like, I think you should be looking at taking 4 centre backs, 2 full backs on each side, so maybe 8 defenders in total.
Okay, that means we'll go for that for now. We'll go with that for now. Yeah, but that means we're gonna have to take out I reckon a midfielder.
I mean, you could risk it if you want, like, but I just don't think Southgate will.
Right, I'll put them in brackets. So that is a possibility. Yeah, that would mean we have to take out one of the midfielders to the front end. Now, the midfielders. This is what I've gone with. Now, hear me out, yeah? Right? That is, he's a certain. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I think Foden has to go because he's just class, right? But, no, hear me out on this one. I don't want him to go to the thing, but you can't leave him out because he's been good, right? Like, I don't think over the past couple of years he's been brilliant, but he's obviously coming to form now. he's going to bring him. I think Southgate has a fetish for him, so I think he's going to go, right? He is going for me because he's cover at like deep, like a CDM or like for cover for Henson and Rice. Mount has to go because he's just been brilliant this season. This is the interesting one, yeah? Saka, right? So I'm going to go through the midfield options, yeah? Bellingham has been touted by, I think Carragher put him in his squad. Madison, Ward-Prowse, in there, but he's not going to go. Yeah, Dyer as well. You go. I'll go to Luke first. Luke, what are your thoughts on the midfield? Like, I'm guessing these top three are certs, and then what do you think?
Yeah, I'm just going to run through the midfield that I had Rice, Henderson, Phillips, Mount, Grealish, Lingard. I think Grealish might be an attacker for you.
Yeah, no, I put him attackers. Don't worry, I put him attackers.
You could be looking at a choice between Saka and Lingard. I mean, I doubt either of them. Like, I don't think you can take both with the fact that you have so much quality in the rest of the attackers. I think it might come down to a straight choice between them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I agree with the rest, to be honest. I don't think there's anyone there who I think like should be coming in instead of them. Maybe Bellingham might get a chance instead of like Saka, but other than that, I think that's fine.
I think Bellingham's like he's very young as well. I don't think there's a need to actually. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a bit of a waste of his pocket. He's going to have tournaments in the future, but I think this is the one that people are wondering about Madison. But like I feel like Grealish and Mount can play that position, and Foden. So I think it would be a waste of a spot. But Charlie, what are your thoughts? Like, would you swap any of these in?
This might sound like a weird one, but I would have Ward-Prowse in there every day of the week. I think Ward-Prowse is a great player. His set piece speciality could be vital for them. I think if you look at them midfielders, Phillips, Rice, Henderson, they're definitely more defensive. I think Ward-Prowse has a nice balance of defense and attack. He could be a good man to play in a double pivot, really, just let him off his leash really while Rice sits. I think that could be a decent creative option, and especially is Henderson fully fit? Like, when are we expect? Yeah, he will be fit, but like, and also with Phillips, I'm not sure he's gonna go, and I'm happy with him to be there, but I'm not rating him as highly as some people do. I don't know, the game. I just think the game sort of passes him by at times. You watch Leeds, the attackers, the attacking midfielders that play against Leeds, they seem to get in so easily. There's always space.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, he's not the greatest on the ball. And I think this is where we might see him go with Dyer, just because he kills two birds with one stone. He can play. I don't you dare put Dyer in, by the way. He's not getting in our squad.
You know what? He's gone.
Yeah, but Southgate, as we said, he's not a serious manager, so I wouldn't be surprised if he puts Dyer in.
Yeah, I think the thing is, so what are you saying then? War price for Phillips. And to be fair, if you remember 2018 World Cup,
I'd leave Phillips in. I'd take out Saka for Ward-Prowse.
Okay. Right, I'm gonna bring him home. Right. So the problem we have now is we'll revisit it. Obviously, we're not doing everything now. Who have I asked? Connor. Any qualms with this?
I suppose. I mean, I was having this conversation with you just before we came on. I think Ward-Prowse, he does offer something different, especially with set piece, and he offers something different to the rest of the players in midfield. I feel like a lot of players that we have in there are quite similar. And the thing about Ward-Prowse is as well, he's played every minute of the Premier League this season. He's never injured at all. So he could be someone that could be quite reliable to bring. But I just think on form, I think Lingard and Foden, they have to go.
Yeah.
I think the top four have to go. So as you said, it probably is between Saka and Ward-Prowse.
All right. So I've got an idea.
It is a tricky one.
Watch this one.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah, no, but watch. Hang on. I'm about to do a fucking madness right now, yeah? Let me copy this, yeah. Watch. Right, boom. Shit. There we go.
Are you implying Saka at left back?
Yep. Backup left back. Backup left back. Luke Shaw
It's not a
starting.
bad shout, to be fair.
Because Chilwell lost his place as well. So I was low-key thinking,
Yeah, I suppose one of the things there is, I mean, Saka he's more versatile than Chilwell.
Yeah.
Like, he can cover more positions, and that's kind of the same with people like Declan Rice as well, Kyle Walker. So we'll come back to it.
Yeah, attackers. Okay, definite cert. Backup striker. We'll do backup strikers. Harry Kane's going as captain, isn't he? So Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I think the other one's just Ings. So who are we taking, Charlie? Ings or Calvert-Lewin?
I personally didn't take either of them because you know the way you had one less defender. I took out Calvert-Lewin or Ings for Mings. So I would have had Rashford as the backup striker, which is quite dodgy, to be honest. But to be honest, I don't think with the way Rashford's being played at the moment, I don't think Rashford's going to be fit for the Euros. But that's another question. So I think, even though Kane and Rashford are quite injury prone, really, I couldn't fit in another striker to take. But if I did have to take one, I'd take Ings because I think he's way more clinical than Calvert-Lewin.
Okay, Luke, Ings or Dominic Calvert-Lewin? Because he's going to bring up a backup striker. Because we need to think of Southgate, like he's going to bring a backup striker. So, Luke, Ings or Calvert-Lewin? Okay, Luke's gone. Connor, Ings or Calvert-Lewin?
Yeah, I was kind of torn between the two as well.
Easy, how do that?
It's a hard one because I feel like they both have performed well this season. They've kind of been up and down a bit. Like, I mean, Harry Kane is sort of nailed on as number one. I just don't think Rashford is good enough to be back up to be like a striker.
Okay.
I think he'd be playing him out on the wing. Personally, like, I'd probably, at this moment in time, like, it would literally be a 50-50 call between the two of them. But I don't know, we might see over the next few weeks, one of them might be performing better than the other. And I think it could literally come down to something small like that. I know Calvert-Lewin obviously does have the height advantage, which, I mean, he's good in the air. That could play a part in it. But I feel like Ings is sort of, he's better with the ball at his feet, hold up play and stuff like that. So I'll go with Ings. I'm going to go with Ings, to be honest.
All right, so it's 2-0. I'm going with Calvert-Lewin for the pure reason of England will probably, they'll target set pieces as well. And obviously Trent's delivery, he needs someone big in there. I don't mind Ings going. So, Luke, I'll give you the deciding vote. Is it Ings or Calvert-Lewin?
I'm currently leaning towards Ings just because Calvert-Lewin in the past few weeks, he just hasn't really been clinical enough to warrant being backup England striker. I think Ings, his form is slightly better than Calvert-Lewin at the moment. And I think if you look at Calvert-Lewin and Kane, they're quite similar players. I think Calvert-Lewin, he's a bit faster, but I think both of them, they're decent hold-up players. They're both decent in the air. I think Calvert-Lewin's slightly better in the air than Kane, but I think King's just obviously something a bit different to Kane and Calvert-Lewin, and I think he's a better finisher than Calvert-Lewin. So I think it'll come down to the last few weeks of the season who's on the better form, I think. But at the moment, I'm going for Ings, but it could change.
All right, we'll go Ings then, because it's democracy, right? Now, I'm guessing, going 100%. He'll go. Now, we are 1 over the 23, right? So we have options. We could get rid of Jordan Pickford. No, I'm joking. We can't. We have, so Gary Neville and James Carragher put Sancho in, right? So we can either get rid of Sancho, Mings or Cody, or one of the midfielders. I'm leaning towards now, I think Sancho has to go to the Euros. Like, he is a fantastic footballer. Like, United aren't looking to pay 100 million for him for no reason. I'm leaning towards Cody not going because I hear the back four thing, because he'd be a waste of a body at the end of playing back four. That's what I'm going with, yeah. But I want to hear your thoughts. So, Charlie, would you not bring Sancho and bring Cody, or would you take one of the midfielders in?
Well, first of all, I think it's absolutely ridiculous that neither of them selected Sancho in their
I
squad.
know.
I think it's Premier League bias just because they don't watch him every week.
Yeah.
They don't put him in the squad. I'd say he's a much better player than some of the forwards there. If you actually watch them play, you probably know that, but they don't. So they both left him out. His stats, while they're not the same as last season, they're still very good.
Yeah.
And obviously Dortmund have declined massively since their place in the table since last season. So he's still putting up decent enough numbers. Yeah, I think Sancho would definitely be in my squad, but obviously we're gonna have to get rid of someone. I still think you're gonna need 4 centre halves. So, I mean, it's a tough one. We're gonna have to drop someone, and I don't know who it could be.
This is the thing, right? Ideally, you want to get rid of this prick, but you can't, right? So you have to look at outfield players. What I am thinking, right, is that you either go with 3 centre backs and hope that Rice, Henderson, or Walker can fill in, or you take out one of the midfielders. Now, if we're taking out midfielders, Jesus, right, it might have to be. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ, it's actually so hard. What the fuck? Hang on. So obviously, okay, let's talk about midfielders, yeah? Let's see if we can take anyone out. These are going, yeah? Hang on. I think it might have to be Phil Foden or Ward-Prowse, because thinking about it now, yeah, Lingard's going to go because Southgate, yeah. If we're going to get rid of midfielder, it's move Ward-Prowse and Foden. So I think what we're going to do is, yeah, Luke, I'm going to go to you first, right? I'm guessing you want to keep Sancho in there. So Phil Foden, Ward-Prowse, or Cody, who is not making the England squad?
Well, I think Phil Foden is definitely going. I think Southgate likes him, and I think he deserves to go. And he's in good form, and he's probably in Man City's best team at the moment. So I think he has to go. So it's kind of between Ward-Prowse and Cody. I just with Luke Shaw and Saka, I think if Luke Shaw has to step into centre back just because England had like a crisis at centre back, I think you would have to pick the 4 centre backs. So I think Calvin Phillips or Ward-Prowse. Now I think Calvin Phillips will go because Southgate likes to play his 2 defensive midfielders.
Yeah.
But I would just be looking at Henderson, Rice, and Ward-Prowse to fill those 2 positions. Like the 3 of them there, I think if one of them got suspended or injured, you'd have enough cover. Mount could even drop back. So I'd probably leave Phillips out if you wanted to keep Ward-Prowse in for his free kick ability. Now, I know I said I'm comfortable with the midfield without Ward-Prowse in it, but like I think they have made a good point. I mean, free kicks for him are basically penalties, so it's a bit of a cheat code to have if you're struggling in a game. So, I think Ward-Prowse, it's between Ward-Prowse and Calvin Phillips, I would say.
Okay.
I think also the fact that Sancho wasn't in a Neville and a Carragher squad just screams casual. It just screams casual to me. I mean, you so clearly don't watch him, so it's slightly embarrassing.
Right, but okay, I hear you out. Right, I agree. Oh no, I see where you're coming from, but I think you have 3 centre backs there, and you have Kyle Walker who can also play centre back if needed, and Declan Rice and Henderson. That's why I think Cody won't go. I think he'll go. I think you go with 3 centre backs. If you look at Rice can play centre back, Walker can play centre back, Shaw can play centre back if needed. I think I'd like to keep, because Henderson and Rice, if say one of them has to step back, then you have to bring Phillips in and Ward-Prowse for their set pieces. So I think the midfield's hard to touch. But Connor, I'll go to you. Right? Who are you taking out? I think what we've decided is either Ward-Prowse, Phillips, or Cody. So it's changed.
I think with the whole defending situation, I think it's a waste to bring Cody, as we said, if it's going to be back 4. And judging by what he's been playing recently, I think he might go with a back 4. I think they're more balanced when they play like that. And I would rather have Declan Rice as centre back in a back 4 if needed, then Cody. Cody just he cannot play a back four.
Okay.
And I think England's best team is when they have a back four. So for that reason, I get Cody out.
Okay. So I think that's it. I think, yeah, because Cody's gone. I voted Cody to go. So I think that's the team, boys. That's the squad that Southgate should bring. So I think we can do starting 11 if you want. This is going to be interesting. Now, first off, the formation. We'll do like, so, okay, who wants to do 4 at the back? Charlie, 4 or 5 at the back?
I'd definitely go with a 4.
Luke?
I'd be going with a 4-3-3 formation myself.
All right, Connor?
Yeah, I go with a 4.
Right. Okay. I was going to go with 5, but it's okay. I clearly don't know what I'm on about. Now, this interesting one. In my opinion, Dean Henderson should start as keeper. Luke, who would you pick as starting keeper? I think Henderson deserves to be starting keeper.
I pick Henderson as well. If he retains his place with United and he's the United number 1, I don't think you can take away his starting. Like, I know he's not starting at the moment, but I really think he should be starting if he retains his number 1 position over De Gea for the rest of the season, because Pope is very limited distribution wise, and Pickford just is a terrible shot stopper, if we're being honest. So I think Henderson speaks them both in those regards and deserves to start.
All right, so Connor, Henderson.
Yeah, I go with Henderson. I've watched Burnley a few times now this season, and Pope is just sort of he just launches the ball when it comes back to him. He can't pass it out through the back. And Pickford, I don't know why Southgate insists on playing him the whole time.
Yeah.
He's first of all, he's really bad in the air. He tries to come out for a corner and misses the ball. He can't, he's not good at shot stopping at all. Okay. And he always just gets wound up and then goes out and tries to 2-foot someone like he did to Van Dijk. Yeah, I think he just needs someone that's calm.
He's a giver. And that's it. He's just
even Pickford, even in the Merseyside derby when he bottled that high ball and Origi scored, things like that. He's been making too many mistakes, I think, over the last few years.
Yeah, he should. So I'm guessing Stones Maguire. I'm not sure which way who's going right centre back. Maguire plays left centre back for you, doesn't he? For United, doesn't he?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go with that then.
Yeah, and then you have Shaw as well beside him, which they'll obviously be used to playing with each other.
Oh yeah, okay. We'll go to we'll go right back first. I'm guessing we're gonna go with Shaw right back. Now, this is where it gets interesting, right? We're going off our squad. I am 155 billion% going with Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'll tell you what, right? Forget the Liverpool bias for a minute. Obviously, that is clear. I'm not going to bullshit, but this is why. I think if you look at big games, big Champions League games, Trent Alexander-Arnold has a better record than Kyle Walker. And at the World Cup in 2018, Walker gave away a penalty. I don't know who again. Might have been against Tunisia or some shit. I remember a few Champions League games against us. He was poor, and he was poor against Leon again last year. So I think he's a bit of a bottler when it comes to it now. I understand why he should start. Defensively more sound, more power. But Charlie, I'll go to you first. Trent or Kyle Walker? This is the big one, I think.
I'd usually have Trent in, but their first game is Croatia, and they have Perisic, they have Rebic.
He's washed.
They might play Mandzukic off the left, kind of coming in, targeting Trent at the back. So I'd personally go for Walker just for this game, just because I think you can't do Walker 1v1. That's a bit unless he does something really stupid and whips you out, which he can do at times, but he doesn't do it often, I don't think. You can't do him 1v1 because he's so quick. So I just haven't, just as a safety cushion really, because I still don't trust Stones.
Okay, so I've gone Trent. Cherry's going Walker. Luke, Walker or Trent? I think Luke's working out the controls of his laptop. Connor, let Luke work out how to work his laptop there. And Walker or Trent?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a tough one. I kind of agree. It's been said. I think Walker is probably more defensively sound for the sort of the bigger games and have good players to go up against. But I just feel that even in those big games, I think you need someone like Trent is well able to get up the line and whip in across and get an assist from it.
Yeah.
And I think in a big game, like, there's no point relying on being really good defense. Like, you need to be able to get forward and score goals as well.
Right.
And I just feel that Kyle Walker isn't nowhere near as good as Trent is at attacking. And I don't think Trent is that bad at defending.
Okay. Luke. Walker.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was only joking. Walker or Trent. So it's 2-1 to Trent so far.
I would actually just go with Trent. Like, we're making
Yes! Get in!
making out that Walker is some sort of big game player, but like, if you look at him, he's given away a lot of penalties. He's given away a penalty against United. He's second choice right back as far as I see it at City at the moment for Cancelo, who's basically like Trent, a better attacker than him. So I'd probably just go with Trent, to be honest.
Right. So I put Shaw in because Shaw's been brilliant this season. He's been the best left back in the league this season. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting because do you go 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 and have Henderson and Rice? Because if you've Henderson and Rice in there, yeah, and 4-2-3-1, that solves that problem of Trent potentially getting caught. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So, like, if you have Rice or you've Henderson on this side, yeah, and Rice, right? I'm not put these into certain. Just hear me out. Oh fuck! I fucked that. Oh, I'm a retard. Right? Yeah, Henderson, Rice. If it accommodates for Trent bombing forward, Henderson can fill in, and Henderson has done that a lot for Liverpool, so that he is used to doing that. And then, potentially, yeah, Henderson. So, what do you guys think? Are we going 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1?
I think 4-2-3-1 would probably be.
Okay.
Or it could be like a 4-3-3 with two sitting.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Okay. All right. Connor?
So I think, like, either way, like, if it's a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, like, it's going to be pretty much identical shape anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, he's going to have two sitting, and then he's going to have someone ahead of them, and then the front three.
Yeah. Luke, I know you want to do 4-3-3, but you've been outvoted by the looks of it. But I want to hear your case.
They're basically the same. Like, they're
Yeah,
the same formations anyway. Realistically, two wingers, a striker. Like, it's not that big.
Okay. So, the three behind the striker. Then I'm gonna go. I'm thinking. Oh shit! I better go here. So obviously Kane's gonna go from. So it's between those four. You have to pick three. My prediction would be Sterling on the right, Grealish in the middle, Rashford on the left, and Kane up front. Charlie, do you have any? And then Sancho on the bench. What are you thinking?
I think Mason Mount's got to play.
Oh,
I
I forgot
think
about the Mace.
Mount is quality. Like, I'd move Grealish out to the left, get rid of Rashford.
I agree.
Because Rashford's not going to be fully fit anyway. And he hasn't played for England in a while. Yeah. And you still have the pace with Sterling. So I think Rashford might miss out.
I like that. Connor, what do you think? What do you think of that?
Yeah, before we even came on to do the podcast, that's what I had then. I had Sterling, Mount, Grealish, and then I Kane up front.
Okay.
I think Mount, he was sort of, people were kind of overhyping him at first, but I think he has lived up to it. Like, he's been excellent this season, both for Chelsea and England, and like recently, he scored for England quite a bit recently and being creative. So like, he's proved himself at international level already.
Yeah.
And I just think the point about Rashford possibly not being fit, and like, I mean, I'd actually rather have Grealish out on the wing. I think he's better out there, especially with Mount in, Because if you look at that
Yeah.
midfield, Henderson and Rice, there isn't that much creativity there.
Yeah.
So I think you'd need Grealish and Mount in.
And then obviously Kane from Luke. What do you think? Are you happy with that?
I don't necessarily think Mount has to play, but I think Southgate will play him. I think what has to happen is Rashford or Sterling have to play, and Grealish or Sancho have to play. Like, I don't think you can start Sterling and Rashford, and I don't think you can start Grealish and Sancho, because I think it gives you a good balance of pacing behind with Sterling or Rashford, and then the creativity side with Sancho or Grealish. So I think it would be silly to start Sterling and Rashford on the wings with Kane up front, because I think they just give you the same thing really. I think Grealish or Sancho playing on the wing would give you a lot more creativity, seeing as it's lacking in the midfield. I think you could also move Grealish in for Mount, and then maybe put Sancho on the left or right if you wanted to. But I think Sterling or Rashford has to play, just because they're the only people in the England team with real pace, like in attack. So I think one of them has to start.
I was just want to, like you said, like the depth as well. Both he's touched on, like even have Walker. Now, the Saka pick's a bit weird now, isn't it? Because if we're playing a back four, he can play there. He could play there. Yeah, Chilwell. Yeah. So Calvin Phillips you can put in, and then obviously up front, like you put Sancho there, or Sancho here, Rashford there, Lingard here. Like there is a good bit of depth in that team, but like to be fair, like I think that's the best team. Like I think it's I think what we need to be careful of, like it's more about balance more than anything. Like it's not about like having the best players on the pitch. That's where England failed before. It's about like balance, and I think that does definitely provide balance. So I think that's it, boys. That is the false nine official England squad that should be going to the Euros. And that is the official starting 11 with Dean Henderson there, Trent right back, Stones Maguire at centre back, Shaw left back, Henderson and Rice in the pivot, Sterling, Mount, Grealish, and Harry Kane, who will be captain as well. Yeah, I think that's it, boys. Thanks, lads, for joining me. Let's hope that England win the Euros, because they're our neighbours and we like them a lot. So, please God, England win the Euros. Thank you. Yeah, thanks a million, lads, again. And please, guys, subscribe, share with your mates and all that. And yeah, see you next time.